You'll never guess where I bought this one. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. We've got ourselves a traditional unboxing episode tonight, back at the studio. The trip out to Gary's Classic Guitars was a lot of fun, but I had a few people debating whether they were actually unboxings or not. I just figured that was the closest series that kind of content would fall into. But I actually found this guitar on Reverb while I was with my family at the zoo. We had sat down for lunch, and I thought I would check Reverb real quick, and to my surprise, a guitar that perfectly matches the zoo vibe shows up. And just happens to be a model that I collect. But, oh. Yeah, doesn't that look totally authentic? Hopefully the guitar is not as bad looking as the case. Well, at least I have a good thumbnail now. But inside here sleeps a gator, an alligator green BFG. I already have a couple of these in my collection, but I'm still trying to find like some of the other more exotic colors, such as the blue one or the Zakk Wylde signature model. But I'm always in the market for really clean gator greens, and that's what this one's supposed to be. Mint, untouched, unplayed with original case. Unfortunately, we found out that case is just an aftermarket TKL. However, I'm not entirely too sure if this model came with a case originally. So it's kind of nice that it's been upgraded. But if you've missed my reviews on these, the BFG, it stands for barely finished guitar. These things had satin finishes when they left the factory. This one's maintained that pretty well. They give them the clear backplates to give the illusion that they don't have anything at all. They've got a built-in kill switch up here, and what's really fun is the P90 humbucker combination. Again, these don't even have plastic covers over top of them. But one of my favorite features has to be the wooden knobs, and they're two different sizes. But now the question is this gator better than the other gators in my collection? I can already see one thing that says no. This was not unplayed. Somebody definitely had their hand rubbing here a little bit and has glossed up the finish. However, this one was routed very cleanly for the neck pocket. On a lot of these BFGs, you'll actually get this channel route right here, which I find really ugly. Or some of them will have been relicked a little bit too much from the factory on the back. This one's pretty clean in that aspect. Looks like we might have some mild stand marks on this one too. But buying a gator at the zoo, that's a good story for this one. But before we continue on tonight, we need to have a word from our sponsor, Sweetwater. Sweetwater is a great place to buy all your new gear, and that's from electric guitars to pianos, orchestral instruments. My favorite thing is the fact that you can pick out the instrument that you want, from your weight down to the serial number to the kind of top. When I'm looking for something special, I always go to Sweetwater, and they're going to hook you up with a sales engineer that's going to not only help you with this sale, but many of other sales down the road as well. I think I've been with mine for nearly 15 years now. Thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring tonight's episode. Now let's get back to some unboxing. Let's check out one of the small packages. My wife has been buying a bunch of school supplies online, so I totally just thought this box was one of hers. They bought the kids new shoes or something, but no, apparently it's for me. And oh my goodness, a gift from Jeff. No wonder I wasn't expecting anything. How did you know, Jeff? I was actually just looking at this product because I saw a different dealer was using it in their photo shoots, and I thought, hey, that's actually cool. So normally I use my plastic tip calipers. They look like this to get the neck measurements. However, you can use this as a guitar dealer if you don't do the full detailed teardowns, because these little things go in between the strings. But that's freaky. I was just looking at one of these, but I thought, it's like 30 bucks. I don't want to do it. So thank you so much, Jeff. His note here talks about asymmetrical neck profiles and how this could help us measure the different points of the neck. So more than one way to use this. Cool. But our next one is actually a trade. This has come back home, and I'm happy about it. I've always had kind of a soft spot in my heart for this model, ever since we reviewed this Japan exclusive. I suppose most of my decision will come down to what kind of condition it is in currently. Because inside here sleeps an unsuspecting Blue Burst Gibson Les Paul. This is the Goro Yudo signature model. It's for a Japanese anime. Apparently it was kind of new at the time that Gibson did these, but they only made 25 of the custom shop R9s, and then they later did a Gibson USA Les Paul Standard, as well as an Epiphone release. You can check all the detailed information out in the original episode where I reviewed this exact guitar. This one's going to be up for sale again because it was owned by a player. You can see some impressions in our clear coat here. But hey, that's okay. He's out having a great time playing it. It's probably the only Goro Yudo that received that playing treatment. I actually had a dealer friend get number 25, the last one of these. I was tempted to pick it up, but as much as I like this model, I don't like it enough to pay like huge premiums for it. But this one is serial number 7. And certainly looks like it was loved quite a bit. Even the neck has some like light finished wear to it, like maybe he lightly sanded it down, or that could just be residual hand gunk or light wear to the finish due to being played so much. He also upgraded the bridge and tailpiece to Faber parts. But we do have the originals in the case, as well as all the original hang tags, the Argonavis CD. I am very happy that he chose not to install the pickguard though. And of course our cool COA booklet here with our anime dude. Now for me, the reason why this one's always kept in my mind is the fact that, yes, you can get other custom color R9s, but at least this one has some sort of a story behind why it is an untraditional color. And I always thought this one just had quite a fantastic top. I handpicked it out of Japan back when these didn't necessarily sell out instantaneously, but you can't really find these things anymore. But I actually made a trade for this Japan guitar. And I think it'll bring the viewers much pleasure to know that the trade train continues. The Tak Matsumoto Custom Double Cut. We had just reviewed this. If you happen to have missed those episodes, I went from the Tak Gibson USA standard to the figure top blue one, and then I traded it into this black one. And unfortunately, it's not going to another Tak model, but hey, at least it was still Japan influenced. But the story is, the guy who bought this from me, he just wanted to gig this. He didn't think he was going to get rid of it. But he saw that I had this, and he's wanted one ever since high school. So he pleaded his case to say, please make the trade happen. It would make me really happy. And I thought, yeah, I'm cool with that trade. So if you have a Tak Matsumoto model and you want to trade it for the cool blue R9, I'd like to get back within the Tak-verse. But even if it sells, I could always just buy a different Tak. But that is the story of how I got the Goro Yudo back. And he's fixing to take this thing right back out on stage on Friday, so I'm going to try to make that happen for him. Trades aren't my preferred way to go, but lately they've been a lot of fun, with some cool stuff being offered. Just to clarify, I'm looking for limited editions, something out of the ordinary. Your regular Les Paul standard / Les Paul traditional doesn't really interest me. I can't pay as well for that as what I'm primarily looking for. But now let's see what I have in this white box. Feels like it could be paperwork of some sort. Oh, I remember. I got into a bidding war on this. This is for my new old stock parts collection. It's just a regular brown little thing. Nah, just kidding. It's a Gibson branded thing. I've seen these from time to time, but when I buy stuff like this, I am not looking to pay top value because this stuff adds up so quickly and there's not really a set market rate on many of these things. So when it pops up for open auction, I think I got this for like $50. However, other people ask $200 if you're going to buy it straight up. But this is a replacement parts catalog. I don't really plan to go through this in full today, but basically, in the early 70s, if a dealer or a customer wanted to order something, they would look through this catalog and say, okay, I need this part. Or if you come over into here, you can see like you could order the pickups. So when you would order this from the dealer, they would arrive in a box like this. Like if I were to look this up, this whole 13,555 number would probably correspond to something in here. So that's how you can find new old stock parts like this one that have this padding within the box. Like this is an EBO pickup that I have in my collection. So as far as I understand it, this is pre the era that they had these big giant black retail boxes for the pickups that people could just buy to customize their own stuff. It's more like warranty replacement in a roundabout way. Or before the 80s when they decided to make a mass retail production run of these things that you could buy and have in your store with smaller boxes rather than these gigantic things. It's a good size reduction there. If you're selling anything like these, feel free to let me know. Because I'm going for the complete set, because I would love just to have a fake storefront in my future museum. But maybe we can go through this more in depth in its own episode one day. But that leaves us with just one more guitar, which is something that I was able to get off of the Gibson demo shop that I thought was fascinating. I was initially thinking I was going to review and demo this one, even though we've already done the color. However, like 5 days ago, I go from having very little in my backlog inventory to getting like 7 new guitar days in the same day. So Unfortunately, I'm just going to unbox this one and then move it on to its next home. But if it sits around for a while, after looking at it, yeah, I think this would definitely be worthy of a re-review because they put different pickups in this dealer-exclusive ocean water finish. Because instead of the pickups that were in the review piece, these are the T-types. But I swear, this is my favorite color on the Les Paul Standard in the current production year because the blue, for whatever reason, it just makes every top come to life in person. It just moves. And having the uncovered zebra bobbins definitely gives this a brighter vibe than normal. I just wish so bad this model came in a 50s neck, because that's the only thing that prevents me from keeping one in my collection, because I just prefer a little bit more than these 60s necks offer. But did you see? We talk about the color difference between mahogany and maple necks quite often when you get this ocean water finish. But these are both mahogany and they still have a very different look to them. So this is probably a rather light looking mahogany body, whereas this is a darker neck. So even on the same wood types, there can still be some variations, but that can be kind of fun. And hey, look, they put cream backplates on it too. That's why it also has that kind of angelic vibe to it. So if you're interested in this one, you can find it for sale on my website, troglysguitarshow.com. Otherwise, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.
The Trogly's Guitar Show is an independently owned and operated business and is possible because of viewers like you. Thank you. Deek!